DocTalk is brought to you by Merck Animal Health, the science of healthier animals.
Hey folks, welcome to DocTalk. Thanks for joining us today on the show. We're up here at Washington, Kansas at Beck Meyer Enterprises. We're going to have a great day. We're going to talk about bud boxes, cattle handling, cattle feeding, and much more. Stay tuned after these messages. It's going to be great.
As dependable as the sunrise, in dairy parlors, open pastures, on ranches and feed yards across America. A place where reputation is more than a name, where the science of healthier animals is a way of life. It's the responsibility that drives who we are and what we do. Every decision, every day. It's your livelihood and our responsibility.
Closed captioning brought to you by Colostrix Colostrum Supplement and Replacer. Proven to provide essential immunity and help prevent scours from E. coli. Trust your newborn calf health to Colostrix from AgriLabs.
This segment is brought to you by the Beef Quality Assurance Program and the Kansas Beef Council, improving animal care and beef safety for more than 20 years.
Hey folks, welcome to DocTalk. Dr. Dan Thompson here, and we're up at Washington, Kansas with Greg and Eric Beck Meyer here at Beck Meyer Enterprises, and we're talking about facilities, cattle feeding, many different things that y'all enjoy on the show. But Greg, let's start out with you. Can you give me a little bit of rundown about your facility? It's a family business. Been around this part of the country quite a while, hadn't you?
Yes, and I guess in a smaller way, I think it's been about 15 years ago we expanded the operation to do more commercial feeding and added some new things and more bunk lines and facilities. So it's kind of taken off from there. Most of it is, like you say, done by family, and everybody has, kind of their own input and, has their own area of what you'd say jurisdiction and so forth. So,
yep.
But then we try to incorporate some new things and, kind of learn as we go. So,
what all does your operation encompass? You have crops, you have cattle feeding,
crops, transportation, and livestock feeding. With probably more emphasis on the cattle feeding and crops. So that's kind of been the probably the mainstay or more of the direction that we've gone for the past 10, 15 years. So.
You bet. Well, and y'all use a pretty good vet up here, Dr. Wade Taylor, and the PAC group, and cattle handling and low stress cattle handling has been something that y'all have had on your mind ever since you started, and something that you guys practice on a day-to-day basis, right?
We try to, and I guess being a little older than the other guys, sometimes it gets a little harder to break some of your bad habits, but I guess we've kind of leaned on Dr. Taylor and some of the things that Eric has learned in college and through his education at Kansas State to try to improve on that and, update some of our poor ways, I guess, some of the facility changes hopefully mirror that, so we're trying to get better at what we do.
Well, if you think it's poor ways, he's pulling your leg. When I've been up here, Eric, Greg, Jay, the whole crew has just done a phenomenal job of how you handle the cattle, how you handle the cattle that are owned by your customers. I mean, that's the thing is y'all are taking care of other people's cattle, and it really shows. And there's a reason why we're up here, is to show the good ways and what you're doing. And Eric, you know, obviously I had some run-ins down there at K-State with him and in the classroom and different things like that. And I think you were in one of my first feedlot classes.
I think it was the first one. The first one. Maiden voyage.
Yeah.
So teaching methods were a little shaky, but you know.
We're working on that.
There you go.
Well, guys, we appreciate y'all letting us come up here, understand cattle handling, and we're going to get into the bud box here. But thanks for all you do for the industry. Thanks for letting us at K-State come up and interrupt your day and bring people around. But thanks most of all for being a great example for the beef industry. Folks, we're at Beck Meyer Enterprises outside of Washington, Kansas. I'm here with Greg and Eric Beck Meyer. When we come back, we're going to jump in that bud box and take a look. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining me today for Boehringer Ingelheim's Cattle First. When we start to think about labels that are on bottles of antibiotics, it's extremely important that we follow them. The first thing that's on the label, what species is this indicated for? So it might be for cattle, for horses, for dogs, or cats. Once we understand the species that these products are labeled for, what's the indication? Bovine respiratory disease. Could it be for foot rot? There's a list of species, indications. After that, what's the dosage, what's the route of administration, and then what's the withdrawal time, or the time in which it's safe to take an animal to slaughter from the time in which the animal was last treated until that animal was slaughtered. So, species, indication, dosage, route of administration, withdrawal. All of these are important components on the label, so make sure that you follow them and use antibiotics judiciously. Boehringer Ingelheim's Cattle First.
It must be an inherited trait, because I have never wanted to do anything other than be in the cattle business. And it's interesting, as I have grandchildren now, little bitty ones. All they want to do is go to the barn, swing a rope, and be a cowboy. It's something. It's a lifestyle that we have, the way we make a living, obviously. But it's really more than that. It gives us the opportunity as a family to be able to work together and enjoy each other's company and make a living at the same time. We've been using Triangle for years, and the reason we do it's been safe and effective, and we're going to continue to do that. We'll put the cows in the chute twice a year, spring and fall. 100% of our cattle get vaccinated with Triangle.
It's easy to spot the man who uses Synanthic. With lower volume and less waste, Synanthic steps up your deworming routine. Get more deworming with less dewormer at Synanthic.com.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
This segment brought to you by the new Hired Hand Portable Cow Sprayer. For more information, visit cowsprayer.com.
Well, guys, we're in the bud box, and y'all have taken the initiative to build this run up and build this bud box, and kind of go through with me, Eric, what were some of the principles that y'all, when you're building that bud box, that you incorporated?
Well, I mean, our old system, it was more of a tub situation, and it always seemed like to get cattle in it, you were forcing them. So we really wanted to use the natural flow of the cattle, take them where they want to go, use their flow better to work through the system.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, when we talk about it, you run them up there, and that instinct, you know, you guys have seen it, whether it's a horse or a cow, they always want to go back the direction they came, and so you're using that general principle here in the bud box. But how'd you come up with dimensions and things like that for this?
Well, we really tried to use just what we had and form it into the facility the best we could. But as far as the dimensions, it'd be 12 foot wide by 20 foot long, which is the recommended bud box. That's kind of what we went off of, that you and Dr. Tom and Dr. Wade talk about. So.
Yep. What have been the positives? What have been the, when y'all are working cattle, what have you seen as far as flow compared to the tub and different things to that nature?
Well, it's definitely a lot easier bringing cattle up. They want to come back because we bring them in that door back there, bringing them into the system. So they always want to go back that way initially. But then when they see that gate's there, they turn back.
All right,
through,
so you guys just kind of show me then what this couldn't be much simpler design, could it?
Pretty simple and low cost in the big scheme of things. So.
Yep. So show me then, let's just talk in general. If cattle are coming up, you're going to bring them in here, you're going to do what?
So the cattle come up, and then we'll take this gate here. Then the handler will be where you're standing.
Yep. Go ahead.
The cattle will go up to there, and then once you shut it, they're looking and coming back already. So then you walk up here and put pressure on them back into the alleyway.
So Eric, when we're talking about the bud box and obviously the design that's put on there, you also put a kind of a gate for the wild ones, right?
Yep, we put that in there mainly for safety of the handler, because you'll have one that's a little crazy that you don't want to necessarily be in the bud box with, or if you don't feel comfortable being in the bud box, you can always go behind it through this walk-through gate and be in a good position here to still apply pressure and be in a safe spot. So.
Oh yeah, and then that comes and shuts all the way up against.
Slam latch there to get the calf to flow through.
That's a good idea. I like that. Gotcha. Well, let's kind of take a look here. It'd be kind of neat to show a principle of what a cow would see and some of the things that we would notice. But appreciate y'all letting us come up here. We're going to run some cattle through the facility. We're going to do some things with the gimbal, and we're going to show you what it looks like up here at Beck Meyer Enterprises with this new bud box.
Did you know long-range planning through the checkoff can help keep your business profitable? To successfully pass on cattle operations from one generation to the next, it's important to promote beef and keep farms and ranches profitable. Your beef checkoff helps do that.
We are Mike and
Martha
Armitage here at the A-Bar Ranch, Claremore, Oklahoma. We have a cow-calf production company, and we also have a marketing company. We have entertained groups brought to us by the Beef Checkoff, such as South Korean media that covered our operation and brought the good news back to South Korea.
That was a really neat experience, and that we got to have young people from another country that we got to experience a lot of different things in their culture, but got to share our culture too.
We live on the Squaw Creek Ranch. Here is a division of the A-Bar Ranch.
As a wife and a mother, and also with my background in more of a health field, I look at just the nutritional value, and it's great that the Beef Checkoff offers that kind of information to the consumers that are out there.
We both are proud to come from agricultural, more specifically ranching backgrounds.
My dad is a part of the Beef Checkoff board, and so the Beef Checkoff has been something that we promote and that we support what it has to offer.
Not everybody who's in agriculture is tech savvy on Facebook and through social media. Most people in the city happen to be, and they are very disconnected from our day-to-day routines, and that's one thing that makes me proud of the Beef Checkoff, them going to bat for us. From those who aren't necessarily anti-ag, but just simply don't know and they aren't getting the information.
As producers, we're strong supporters of that and hope that many of you out there realize all of the different things that the beef checkoff brings to the table for us as producers.
It's easy to spot the man who uses Synanthic. With lower volume and less waste, Synanthic steps up your deworming routine. Get more deworming with less dewormer at Synanthic.com.
Beringer Ingelheim Vet Medica Inc. knows the importance of beef quality assurance and asks you to step up and get certified. Go to bqa.org for details.
No matter where, no matter why, the Veterinary Health Center at Kansas State University is committed to providing quality patient care to animals and exceptional customer service to their owners. From routine checkups to emergency and specialty care, our world-renowned specialists and experienced professionals are here to discover, to teach, and to heal.
Let us know.
How can I help?
How can we help?
Segment is brought to you by the Beef Quality Assurance Program and the Kansas Beef Council, improving animal care and beef safety for more than 20 years.
Hey folks, welcome back to DocTalk. Dr. Dan up here in my bird's perch. We're going to work some cattle here through the bud box. We got Eric bringing some calves up. We've got Greg and Jay back here on the chute, and we're going to see how this bud box works and show you kind of what cattle look like when they go through the facility. So Eric, go ahead and bring some, and I'll try to talk a little bit but not so much to spook the cattle as they come. He's gonna bring them up, and as he brings them up, he'll come and shut the gate. And there's always that one. And then he has his side gate if need be. And to move those animals right through the facility. Good job, Eric. He's gonna bring up a couple more here. You can see what, generally speaking, these cattle will come in, they will come their former direction and then move back towards the way that they came. And then they make a circle, natural circle around Eric there in the bud box. Folks, don't try this at home, but today I'm gonna be the calf walking here with this gimbal, and I'm gonna show you exactly what a calf sees when it goes into the bud box and then goes into the snake. So anyway, this is a test. This is a new piece of newfangled equipment, and it does a pretty good job. But anyway, watch this.
The BQA Tip of the Day, sponsored by Beringer Ingelheim Vet Medica Inc.
This is Shane Terrell with Production Animal Consultation, here with today's BQA Tip of the Day. Today I'd like to talk about the proper use of loaders. If we only have one loader on the facility, we need to make sure that we differentiate our loaders in feed commodities and those used to help clean the pens. If we're only using a single loader, make sure that we wash this loader in between use when we're going out in those pens, cleaning pens, hauling mortalities, etc. If we have 2 loaders, designate a single loader for use in the feed, within the feed commodities, or using with feed commodities versus the one used to help clean the pen.
No matter where, no matter why, the Veterinary Health Center at Kansas State University is committed to providing quality patient care to animals and exceptional customer service to their owners. From routine checkups to emergency and specialty care, our world-renowned specialists and experienced professionals are here to discover, to teach, and to heal.
Let us know.
How can I help?
How can we help?
If my calves start healthy and stay healthy, I've got a good shot at making money. That is why I trust Colostrix. It gives my calves the protection they need until their own immune systems kick in.
Calf raisers trust Colostrix colostrum supplements. Colostrix is USDA licensed and proven effective. When your money is on the line, trust Colostrix.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Some call it a come-from-behind victory, an unlikely win, a reversal of fortune, snatching victory from the jaws of defeat. This is our moment, our victory dance, because we choose confidence. We choose Zuprevo for BRD treatment. Ask your veterinarian to prescribe Zuprevo. Zuprevo is a fast-acting, long-lasting BRD treatment that you can count on to get the job done. Choose confidence. Choose Zuprevo from Merck Animal Health.
Segment is brought to you by the Beef Quality Assurance Program and the Kansas Beef Council, improving animal care and beef safety for more than 20 years.
Hey there, welcome back to DocTalk. We've had a great day here, guys. This has been awesome. Thanks so much. I know that there's a lot of times when we have a project, me or Appley, or have something, and y'all have been so good to work with us on different things, and just want you to know how much we appreciate the relationship and partnership with Beck Meyer Enterprises. Y'all do a great job.
We appreciate the knowledge we get from you guys too. So.
Well, we try, and sometimes our bright ideas aren't so bright, but in that way it is with everything.
It sure looked like they would have worked.
On paper they were great, but you know what y'all have done here with your facilities. You know, one thing we didn't talk about was Bud Williams himself. You know, the kind of the father of the Bud box, and years ago he designed that Bud box and in place of the tub system, and you know, I think he'd be very, very proud of the job that y'all have done here in replicating his work and carrying it forward. And I think there'll be a lot of people that watch our show that are going to do that as well. What are some of the thoughts that you guys have as far as the industry and cattle handling and beef quality assurance and all that as people move forward?
Well, the only thing I guess I would like to add is it takes good employees and people that care. You know, whether it's it goes all the way from your vet consultant to your nutritionist to the people that walk the cattle and run your feed trucks. That's probably if you don't have good people that mind their business, it can be a real long road to hoe. So.
Yep.
I'd just like to add that it's probably one of the best investments you can make. Good handling of cattle. You see it in the cattle. The people are happier working the cattle. It doesn't cost you anything. I mean, you can do some easy design changes and be way better off for not a lot of money. So
it's amazing what it probably costs us if we don't do it.
That's right. Yeah.
One thing, if somebody out there is watching this that's going to put in a system that it's just a simple rule of thumb, but if they sit down to draw something out on paper, I would draw however they want it, however they like it out, and then put the shed over it. So many people, I think, and it's my own experience, you try to constrain yourself into a pre-existing shed or a small shed that you're not happy with, and that can kind of hurt you in the long run. So I think it's kind of simple, but it does help you.
Yeah, well, that's a good point. And build it on the ground and then put the shed around it, and then it's going to fit and going to flow. And well, gentlemen, thank you so much. Thanks for all you do. Let's do another great show here on DocTalk. Thanks to Eric and Greg Beck Meyer here at Beck Meyer Enterprises outside of Washington, Kansas. Thanks for watching DocTalk. Remember, if you want to learn more about what we do here at DocTalk, you can find us on the web at www.doctalktv.com. Always work with your local veterinarian. Thanks for watching us today. I'm Dr. Dan Thompson from Kansas State University, and we'll see you down the road.
Closed captioning brought to you by Colostrix Colostrum Supplement and Replacer. Proven to provide essential immunity and help prevent scours from E. coli. Trust your newborn calf health to Colostrix from AgriLabs.
For more information about this program or previous programs, go to DocTalkTV.com.
DocTalk was brought to you by Merck Animal Health, the science of healthier animals.